Symbolic. This is the end of my path working with Agares, Duke Agares. It was a wonderful journey, and I would give him soil that I would spread on my skin during ritual. For Agares teaches us how to communicate between parts of your mind and other spirits. Like roots in soil is my spirit communication. Efficient clarity between voice and spark. Duke Agares, Rayan, Ganyan, Aya, Da, Agares. He taught me so much. He helped me with communications with my spirit companions as well as parts of my mind. You see, something occurs during ritual with the demonic, and it is for healing and growth. And it is what I call subconscious sparking. And for a period of time, it was hard for me to determine what was subconscious sparking and what was their voices. Even though I am clairaudient and I'm able to tell, sometimes the subconscious sparking I felt like would come through in their voice. But it would almost like it would come from a different part of my mind versus from up here. And Duke Agares, he really helped me. Really helped me. And I am so grateful to say that I had a wonderful path working with him. And as his plant that I had given to him dries, King Belial has told me to work with another goetic demon, Vuul. He says, I have another one for you. Trade your Thursdays out for Vuul. There is something that I need you to learn from him. He won't tell me what that is because of no expectations. He wants me to find out. So today is 2 days before my first invocation of a new current. And I am a little bit sad to say that I won't be meeting with Duke Agares this Thursday. But I thought that I would talk about him and some of my experiences with him. And this won't be the only video that I do about him. He really made things clear. And I just cherish our journey that we had. And I know that I will see him again, but path working is interesting in the way that there might be an end of the path. There could be another beginning, but for now, I have another to learn from. And there are only so many days on this planet for me to invoke these demons, and I'm like, I need more days for more demons. There was a ritual that I did where I walked around in circles. And I said, I give you this rock, Agares. And I had already done a ritual where I charged this rock in the moon, the full moon, and I'm circling it. And I'm saying, I'm chanting his N. He places a dark blue rock in my left hand. I close my fingers in a fist, holding it. I see it, clear as day. What does this mean? Keep it, he says. I feel it go in, and I absorb the rock, he says. A rock for a rock. I had started the ritual by charging his rock with my energy. I can always help you. Your dark blue is a window. I don't know what that means. Seeker, you do. View. Like a sunflower, you grow in a swamp of shadows. When your thoughts are hunted, see the rock. And I ended up calling it the Rock of Agares. And this is a channeled sigil that he gave to me one time during ritual. Soil, roots, the mind. Connected. In an indigo blue cloak, like a wizard with a long white beard, he blows air It swirls in the airspace between us, going into my mouth as if his breath became mine. Connected, he said. See, Agares always looked like a wizard to me, and he would ride in the swamp, and he would point things out, and he would talk about things being connected, and he would show me my mind and lines of energy running through it, as in like bright white, like roots in soil. And so then I started making these association of wanting my mind to connect with itself and to grow new wires just as roots in the soil. I had so many profound conversations with Agares. That's why I have so many notebooks. I'm going to have to do more videos about Agares and my experiences with that goetic demon, Duke Agares, because he told me some profound things and he showed me so much. But today I just want to do a general video about how awesome he is and why you should work with him. Number 2, the second spirit in the Ars Goetia. So, I want to say like 8 months ago, I had a dream. And there was this man there was this classroom, and there was this man who led me to his desk as if he was like a teacher. And he said, have you worked with, and it was a short name that started with an A, had a G, and that's all I knew. And the next day I had the urge to look for all the names in the Goetia that start with A. And I wrote them all down, and then I ended up circling Agares. And later on I ended up talking to Lucifuge about Agares. Agares works for Lucifuge in the sphere Satarial, which is the sphere that I was in at that time, because interesting that, huh? And so I was led to work with him. Also, I wanted to increase my spirit communications, my clairaudience, and just I was still in the healing part of the clip-off. And there were some subconscious sparkings that were coming up. And I was sometimes misreading it for voices, which was confusing. It was so confusing. And I needed clarity. And they wanted to help me with this. And so I was led to Agares. He helps with communications between different parts of the mind. And he helps with spirit communications. And he helps to teach you a new language. I started learning Latin since I started working with him too. I've been learning Latin on my own outside of invocations, but I just had the urge to start learning Latin. So interesting, right? Which Latin, let me tell you, powerful ass language. I have had lots of rituals with lots of manifests occur because of Latin. Use Latin in magic. It'll work. I promise you. And even if you just have to Google just single words, like just start learning it, you know. Duke Agares. What a wonderful spirit to work with. The Rock of Agares, that's where I was. The Rock of Agares. So it went into my hand, literally saw it, right, in mind's eye, right here in the physical. It went into the palm of my hand, sunk in, went up my arm, into my mind, into the center of my mind, and it went in there, and has been in there ever since. Now, the Rock of Agares, every time, because he said, when your thoughts are hunted, see the rock. So, sometimes I have these constant thoughts, and most of those thoughts are unserving. The Rock of Agares, it consumeth unserving thoughts. And so I will be like at work, you know, and I'm trying to focus, and I have all these thoughts, and they're not serving me. They're making me feel like, uncomfortable. They're just not good thoughts. Or not that they're not good thoughts, it's just they're not non-serving. That's the best word for them. And perhaps at that time or whatever, but so the Rock of Agares, every time I would have unserving thoughts that I felt like I couldn't get rid of, all I would do is and I can do this with my eyes open even better than eyes closed, is I would see the rock I would see the blue rock as if it was in the middle of my mind, right here, like in my skull, but a little bit farther, kind of like where your pineal gland is. And we'll get there. And I could just see it vividly. And then it would feel like all the unserving thoughts would go into the rock. And then I'd be back, strong as a rock. And that helped me so much. So for whatever reason, that night I had the urge to give him a rock, and he gave me a rock. And we were rock buddies, I guess, because I feel better. Like, that was the best. And love that. And so I always like hold the rock I'll have the rock there during ritual. And I'll have a plate of soil with, I have a particular candle holder that I use for him. He tells me to turn the light out. Some of them like lights out. Some of them like barely out. It depends. But he told me to turn the light out, so I have to have at least 3 candles for him. And then I'll also have the candle off to the side in his special candle holder surrounded by soil. The soil that I would pull out of the plant that I started this video with. And that plant is dying now. But then I would always give the soil back to the plant, and I would say his N out loud, and then Ave Duca Goddess. And he made that plant grow and flower. It was beautiful. And it's so interesting that just like that, the plant just dried out. Just when Belial is like, I want you to trade your Thursdays for another goetic demon. So there's something that I need you to learn. And so that is in 2 days that I would normally meet with Agares. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit before his plant, and I'm going to hold the last sigil that I had made for him. And I'm going to say something to him. And I'm going to give him gratitude from my heart and soul about how wonderful he has been in my life. And the changes, you mean goosebumps, the changes that occurred for me that were so positive. And it is a little bit sad for me to move on, to be finished with a path working. Even though I know it's not the end forever. Last time this happened to me was when I had fully initiated and was done with Sphere 3 of the Clip-Off Satarial. And I was done working with Lucifugero Focale. Now I see Lucifugero Focale when I have my meetings with the 11 heads of Azerate. But for the most part, like, we were meeting every week. And now I don't meet with him at all. And so what I did is I wrote him a thank you and goodbye letter. And I didn't know that that was a thing at the time, that you could be finished working with one of them. But Belial was like, you were done working with Lucifugero Focale. And just the other day at the meeting, he was like, you know, we finished. You learned. And I know that in a little bit I'm gonna see him again for the pact that I'm gonna make with Beelzebub. But for now, like, it's just interesting how we get to the end of a path. But it hurt my feelings. It hurt my heart because I missed him and I missed our invocations. I used to love our invocations. So I'm feeling that again with Agares right now. And so I just wanted to make this video to kind of give myself a little bit of closure. And also to spread the love of Duca Goddess, because he can really help you in your magical practice with the demonic and clipothic healing, because of what he can do for your mind, for the clarity that you will gain. It will be worth it. And he's so nice. He called me Seeker. What do you seek, Seeker? And he was like this wizard, right, with his white beard, who rode on a crocodile, and his sigil would shift into like this bird. And I don't know if it was like an owl or a hawk or something. It was some kind of bird. His sigil would shift into a bird. And I think that's interesting. You know what's really interesting is he would always talk about sunflowers. And just recently, I saw a picture, and I think it wasn't in the dictionary and for now, but I'm not sure which book exactly. But I saw a picture, and in the picture he's holding a sunflower. I'd never seen that picture before. And I was like, he talks about sunflowers. He likes sunflowers because they grow anywhere. He says, like a sunflower, your growth is anywhere, or it can be in any place, or something like that. He is so profound. Work with Duke Agares. I'm serious, man. I'm serious. I'm all about that demon. Yeah. Really helpful. Really, really helpful. He said so many profound things to me. One thing I really liked that he said that made a lot of sense is doubt shows you the opposite of how you feel. I just got hit with a vibration. We say fuck doubt here in magic. Although, it's good to know the opposite of how you feel so that you can feel how you feel and know how you feel. Right? So, thank you, Duke Agares. Thank you so much. Have fun manifesting your reality. He said so many profound things to me.